This is Patrick Brennan, and I'm an information librarian at the Malden Public Library. And this is 5 and 5, where we give you 5 reviews in 5 minutes or less on some themed books. And the links are in the description to check them out. Read them today. Last time I did a new science fiction list, so I thought this time I'd flip the script and highlight some new fantasy novels, things in the last 10 years or so. So let's start the list with a foreign title that might have slipped past your radar in the young adult section. A Winter's Promise by Christelle Deveau, published in 2013. It's part of the Mirror Visitor Quartet, and the last book is due out perhaps next year here stateside. It's a world of floating islands and magically traveling through mirrors that will have you hunting down the sequels as soon as possible. Second on the list of new fantasy, and another you might have found in the young adult section of your library, is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. It's her first major title, and it was released in 2018, and is set in a magical world based on West African culture, where gods and magic kind of interfere with everyday life. It is part of a series, and if you're interested, I'm sure it's going to spawn a few sequels that you can dive into. Next up is a series and the initial book that, if you're a fan of fantasy, you have probably heard of if you haven't read it. It's The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. It was published in 2007. It's a classic fantasy origin story of the main character, Quoth, a simple barkeep who ended up with the moniker King Killer in his adventuring days. And it's him taking the time to tell his story of growing up and going to a magical school, much like Harry Potter. The second book in the trilogy is out, and everyone is waiting on the third, so you can read up and wait with us. Fourth in the world of new fantasy is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, winner of the 2016 Hugo Award. The series dives into a world of catastrophe and societal strife and examines people with magical powers that have the capability of making changes. The title refers to the season at the end of this fantasy world's life cycle. But don't worry, there's obviously sequels, as you can get them in what is known as the Broken Earth series. Last but not least, Brandon Sanderson has been writing imaginative young adult and adult science fiction and fantasy for many years. His magnum opus, his main series with the very high page count, starts with a book called The Way of Kings, set on an alien world shaped by high winds, deals with the governments and the people with magical powers that kind of vie for control. Each book has over 1,000 pages, so if you're looking for a long read, look no further. That will do it for this 5 and 5. We post one of these every Friday, save for the holidays. Make sure that if you want to check out any of these books, take a look in the description, borrow it from the Malden Public Library, or get an online copy. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.